Hello, my name is Travis Ackerman, and today I would like to talk to you about the basics of persuasion and rhetoric. Rhetoric, in its purest form, means utilizing the best available means to ethically persuade an audience. With a healthy amount of practice, anyone can excel in learning and applying the principles of rhetoric. There are three purposes or building blocks of persuasion. They are changing your audience's mood, weakening their commitment to the opposing point of view, or changing their opinion, and convincing the audience to take action. As you can imagine, getting the audience to change their opinion and act is the most difficult. The utilization of Nancy Duarte's sparkline structure is vital to persuading audiences and consists of a beginning, middle, and end. In this sparkline structure, there are two turning points between the beginning, middle, and end. The first is the call to adventure, which happens between the beginning and the middle, and is when audiences are taken from the current world to the future or what could be. The second is the call to action, which separates a persuasive speech from an informative one and occurs between the middle and the end. It helps the audience comprehend the future reward, and navigating back and forth between what is and what could be is the best way to get your audiences to agree with your persuasive presentation. Good persuaders and good presentations use contrast, which involves moving between what the problem is and what could be the solution. The structure of persuasion involves three effective rhetorical appeals. The first is the problem, where effective speakers select a problem that is immediately identifiable with audiences. The second is the cause, and good speakers isolate specific causes that could relate to those problems. The third is the solution, and effective speakers formulate solutions that work for the audience. The content of persuasion involves three aspects: authority/credibility, or ethos, heart/emotion, or pathos, and logic, or logos. Let's discuss these three in depth. As mentioned, rhetoric is finding the best available means to persuade an audience, and the best available method often comes from these three effective rhetorical appeals. Our slides are one of the most powerfully effective ways to develop all three of these rhetorical appeals. With that said, as presenters, we are responsible for ensuring that our presentations maintain good slide stewardship. But what is the role of slides in developing such a powerful persuasive message? Ethos is a combination of trustworthiness, empathy, authority, and a bit of reputation. Remember the golden rule: never give a presentation that you wouldn't want to sit through yourself. As presenters, it is our duty to illustrate concern for the audience. A great slide follows these 5 rules. It tells the truth. If you have to make up information to get your audience to buy into your message, then it is not a strong message at all. Good ethos is demonstrated by command of subject matter. Get to the point. The audience will not understand your slides or message unless you lead them to understand. If you don't understand, neither will they. Use the right tool for the job. Use your slides effectively and as a tool to enhance your presentation as a whole. This means using them only when they are needed. Highlight what's important. As I mentioned earlier, things like contrast, as well as hierarchy, are effective ways to highlight what's important. There are also principles to always be thinking about. Following the glance media rule is also very important. Presenting information that can be processed quickly and easily shows audiences you care. And finally, keep it simple. Keeping your presentation simple doesn't mean it will be easy. A good design that is simple and straightforward is effective. This means less text and limiting your attachment to slides. According to Aristotle, there is persuasion through the hearers when they are led to feel emotion by the speech. Pathos is the art of isolating relevant emotions, determining what created those emotions, and getting rid of competing or detrimental emotions. Above all else, inspiration and heart motivates one to act, surpassing the effects that a knowledgeable, credible speaker can have on their own. Additionally, effective emotion helps cross the divide between agreement and action. But how can you utilize your slides to help you establish, develop, and maintain your pathos? There are 5 different steps you can take. The first is using this picture superiority effect to maximize an image's impact. Match statistics with striking visuals that speak for themselves. The next is using visuals to surprise your audience. Shatter your audience's expectations and use simple visuals to reveal hidden truths and patterns. Use familiar images to appeal to a shared value with your audience. For example, most everyone can recognize a familiar image such as a McDonald's sign. So something like this can appeal to a shared value. Use video to bring emotion to life, and using moving images to create interest. Logos regards evidence and presenting that evidence in a reasonable manner. We must ensure that our use of logic is engaging, useful, relevant, and understandable, and being creative also helps. This can be done by making your slides understandable. Making your slides understandable can happen in a number of ways. One such way is to use diagrams and charts. A well-designed diagram can make a great piece of evidence. Visualizing data helps your audience make sense of complex information. You can also use progressive disclosure. Showing only a single item at a time draws attention to sequences and processes, bettering your audience's understanding of a subject. We must also make our slides logical. Leveraging commonplaces with a quote can do this. This helps to show the inherent logic of your argument. Additionally, drive questions with impacting visuals. And last but not least, make your slides real. This can be done by doing things like the picture superiority effect consistently. Visuals should feature impactful images or very simply and quickly recognizable pictures. And use visuals to reinforce verbal stories. The use of a quality visual can go a long way to reinforce or further the impact of a verbal story. Well, there you have it, the basics of persuasion and rhetoric. I'd like to thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.